Utah Capitol Journal 2012, brought to you by Comcast and the Utah Cable Television Association.
Comcast Cares Day was a huge success. Comcast would like to thank the more than 3,100 employees, families, and community volunteers who gave of their time to enhance 11 elementary schools, city parks, and other organizations across the Wasatch Front to help kids and community members power their dreams. With your support, we made a lasting difference for thousands of students and community members in need. Thank you, and special thanks to our partner, KFC, for providing lunch.
Comcast Cares!
Hello, I'm Dale Zabriskie. Welcome to Capitol Journal, appearing 24 minutes after each hour on CNN Headline News and on Comcast On Demand throughout the legislative session. Our guest for this segment is Representative Patrice Arent. Representative Arent, you've had a wide range of experience with the legislature. You've been a representative as you are now, you've been a senator, you've been involved in other ways, you teach legislative process at the law school. And you have this passion that you've expressed about wanting to get people to know how they can interact and be involved. So,
I've seen it from so many angles. You're right. Yeah. I mean, when I was on staff, I saw people kind of frustrated because they don't know how to get involved. Right. But first of all, people don't understand that we're here all year round. Right. It's not full time, but we have interim meetings and task force meetings and all kinds of meetings going on, and the public is welcome to join us. So there's that going on. And that's a great time to get involved because it's not quite as busy. The issues that we debate during the interim period are put on an interim study resolution at the very end of the session, a bill that we're going to look at. And those topics we start meeting in April and go all the way through November with. And so there's a lot going on.
That's the third Wednesday of those months.
It's the third Wednesday, but it's also other times too. Right. Depending on your task force, I've been assigned to some task forces with the governor's office, and there's a lot of that going on too. And it's online. We have one of the best websites in the nation, and people can go to it, le.utah.gov, and get information. When are we meeting? How to reach us? You know, often people will come to me late in the session and say, I've got a great idea for a bill. And you know what? They do have a great idea. In fact, most of my legislation has come from constituents who've come to me with great suggestions. But late in the session, it's too late. We want to hear about these ideas in April and May when there's really time to develop them.
April and May for the following January.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You mentioned about email, and their phone numbers are available, email addresses are available?
Phone numbers, email. You know, and I love to talk to people. If they call me, there's so much time during the spring, summer, and fall where we can really develop good legislation, and it takes time to do that. So if they contact me then, we can sit down, talk about their ideas, and you know, during the session, they're welcome to come up here. All of the meetings, if they want to come, or the agendas are online, where they're being held, we want them to come up here. They can come and talk to us, and that's the best time to really provide their perspective is during an interim committee or during a meeting during the session. They can actually, during the committee meeting, come and testify and give us their views. It's a little harder later in the session, but particularly earlier and middle of the session, that's when we really want to hear from people during this time. So that's a great opportunity for everyone to come up here. And then if they can't come, and I understand some people can't drive up here, they can actually listen online or watch online for our floor debates.
They don't have to hire a lobbyist to have access to you.
They absolutely don't. I want to talk to people who don't necessarily have a lobbyist. You know, I want to hear people who have real experiences. The bills that I run, the good ideas I get, I ran a bill having to do with children in schools that had asthma. And where did I hear about that? From a constituent whose child had a problem because they wouldn't allow her child to bring their inhaler to class, a high school student. You hear about these ideas and get great suggestions. You know, no legislator can know everything. There are so many bills filed, so we really rely on others to help us.
It's interesting how many legislators participate in this program who have the same attitude. They tell us about a bill that came to them from a constituent.
It's where my bills come from people who have real experiences in my community, and they come to me and say, we've got a problem, how do we solve it? And we work together to try and solve that problem.
Well, I hope you hear from your constituents on a regular basis.
I hope so too, and my home phone number is listed so they can call me at home too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. Please join us again for Capitol Journal, appearing 24 minutes after each hour on CNN Headline News and on Comcast On Demand throughout the legislative session. You can also find us on Facebook.